Step back into one of Britain's most talked-about sitcoms of the 1970s, Love, Thy Neighbour. This bold and often controversial comedy reflected the social tensions of its time, but behind the laughs were talented actors who left lasting impressions on British television. Ever wondered what happened to Eddie, Bill, Joan, and the rest of the iconic cast? Discover their incredible journeys, career highlights, and where life took them after the cameras stopped rolling. From rising stars to forgotten legends, some sadly no longer with us, this is a nostalgic look at the cast then and now. Jack Smethurst portrayed Eddie Booth in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1972, when he was 40 years old. Eddie Booth is a loud, opinionated, and often narrow-minded white working-class man living in suburban London. His life takes a comedic and chaotic turn when a black couple, Bill and Barbie Reynolds, move in next door. Eddie's outdated attitudes and casual racism frequently lead to confrontations with Bill, though their interactions are played for laughs to expose and critique societal prejudices of the time. While Eddie often tries to assert dominance, he usually ends up outwitted or humiliated, making him the comic foil of the series. Jack Smethurst's performance as Eddie captured the contradictions of the character, both foolish and human, and became central to the show's controversial but enduring legacy. Outside the series, Smethurst appeared in several British comedies and dramas, including Coronation Street and Carry On Sergeant. He passed away peacefully on February 16, 2022, at the age of 89. The cause of death was not publicly disclosed, but he had been in declining health. Rudolph Walker portrayed Bill Reynolds in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1972, when he was 33 years old. Bill Reynolds is an intelligent, proud, and level-headed black man who works as an engineer. He and his wife Barbie move in next door to Eddie and Joan Booth, igniting a humorous clash of cultures and personalities. Bill is quick-witted and dignified, often countering Eddie's ignorant remarks with sharp comebacks and composed defiance. Although the show has faced criticism over the years for its handling of race, Rudolph Walker's portrayal of Bill brought grace and quiet strength to the role, providing balance and perspective in a comedy that often walked a controversial line. Walker became one of the first black actors to star in a British sitcom, paving the way for more inclusive casting on UK television. He later gained fame for his long-running role as Patrick Truman in EastEnders. Born on September 28, 1939, in Trinidad, Walker moved to the UK in the early 1960s. As of 2025, he remains a respected figure in British television and continues to support diversity in the arts. He is 85 years old in 2025. Kate Williams portrayed Joan Booth in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1972, when she was around 31 years old. Joan Booth is the tolerant and sensible wife of Eddie Booth. Unlike Eddie, Joan is more open-minded and compassionate, frequently criticizing her husband's behavior and trying to keep peace with their neighbors, the Reynolds. Her role served as a subtle counterbalance to Eddie's louder, more inflammatory presence, offering moments of realism and empathy. Kate Williams gave the character warmth, wit, and quiet resilience, so received acclaim. Known for portraying strong, working-class women, she became a familiar and beloved face on UK screens. Born in 1941, she has remained largely out of the public eye in recent years. She is 84 years old in 2025. Malcolm Rogers portrayed the policeman in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1973, when he was approximately 37 years old. Though his role as a policeman was brief and largely incidental, Malcolm Rogers' performance contributed to the comic structure of the show, often appearing during moments of neighborhood disputes or misunderstandings. His uniformed authority figure added another layer to the chaos between Eddie and his neighbors, especially when tensions escalated. Despite limited screen time, Rogers' solid delivery made him a dependable character actor for TV dramas and sitcoms throughout the 1970s and 80s. Outside of Love, Thy Neighbour, he worked in various British television productions, though he rarely had leading roles. Malcolm Rogers was born in 1936 and continued to act for several decades before retiring. He passed away in 2022, though the exact date and cause were not widely reported. He left behind a legacy as one of many dependable character actors who filled out the rich background of British television. If still alive, he would have been 89 years old in 2025. Paul Ludi portrayed Nobby Garside in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1973, when he was 41 years old. Nobby is a jovial blue-collar co-worker of Eddie Booth, known for his blunt honesty and heavy northern accent. As a factory mate, Nobby often joins in pub banter and workplace gossip, contributing to the sitcom's portrayal of working-class British life in the 1970s. Though not a central character, Nobby's presence added grit and comic relief to Eddie's scenes, often reinforcing or mocking Eddie's misguided views. Paul Ludi, a former professional wrestler turned actor, brought a rugged physicality and natural charisma to the role. Outside of Love, Thy Neighbour, Ludi was recognized for playing tough yet lovable characters in shows like In Loving Memory, Coronation Street, and Last of the Summer Wine. His career was cut short when he passed away on January 10, 1985, at the age of just 52. His death was reportedly due to cancer, and it marked a premature loss to British character acting. Harry Littlewood portrayed the foreman in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1972, when he was 51 years old. The foreman is Eddie Booth's boss at the factory, a figure of authority who tries to keep order among the often unruly workers. Though a minor role, the character helps reinforce the setting of working-class industrial life and provides context for Eddie's workplace frustrations and social environment. Harry Littlewood, known for his stern yet fatherly presence, delivered the role with a balance of discipline and dry humor. Littlewood had a prolific career on British television, appearing in popular series like Z-Cars, The Bill, and Coronation Street. His deep voice and commanding presence made him a frequent choice for policemen, foremen, or senior figures in dramas and comedies alike. He passed away on December 26, 2003, at the age of 82. Though not a household name, his steady presence in dozens of UK shows left a quiet but lasting impact on mid-century British television. If still alive, he would have been 104 years old in 2025. Terrence Alexander portrayed Mr. Wilson in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1972, when he was 49 years old. Mr. Wilson is a smartly dressed, somewhat pompous authority figure, often representing upper management or local governance in contrast to the everyday struggles of the main working-class characters. His occasional appearances added a class-based dimension to the show's humor, with Alexander lending the role a dignified presence and subtle wit. Terrence Alexander was a seasoned actor known for his suave, upper-class portrayals, most famously as Charlie Hungerford in the detective series Bergerac. With a career spanning film, stage, and television, he appeared in everything from The Champions to The Day of the Jackal. In later years, he struggled with partial blindness but remained active in the industry for as long as his health allowed. He passed away on May 28, 2009, at the age of 86, after suffering from Parkinson's disease. His legacy remains strong as a dependable, charming presence in classic British television. Norman Bird portrayed Mr. Granger in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1972, when he was 48 years old. Mr. Granger is a quiet, somewhat stuffy figure who appears occasionally as a representative of middle management or the local council. His interactions with Eddie and other characters often highlight the bureaucracy and disconnect between working-class frustrations and institutional oversight. Though not a prominent character, Mr. Granger's presence helped add realism and social commentary to the show. Norman Bird's understated performance brought a blend of weariness and comic subtlety that made his supporting roles memorable. A prolific British character actor, Bird had an extensive career in both film and television, with credits in classics like The Saint, Wurzel Gummidge, and Some Mothers Do Avum. He was often cast as mild-mannered or exasperated figures, perfectly suited to sitcoms and light drama. He passed away on April 22, 2005, at the age of 80, in Wolverhampton. His cause of death was not widely publicized, but his contribution to post-war British television remains respected. Dick Bentley portrayed the White Vicar in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1973, when he was 66 years old. As the White Vicar, Bentley appeared in a comedic subplot highlighting the cultural and racial misunderstandings between the characters. His character, representing the traditional British clergy, was often used to contrast with modern and multicultural developments in the neighborhood, including scenes of mistaken identity and confusion involving the introduction of a black vicar. Dick Bentley brought a warm, understated comedic style to the role, shaped by his years in radio and television. A celebrated Australian-born comedian, Bentley was best known for his work on Take It From Here, a hugely popular BBC radio show in the 1950s. He later transitioned to television with ease, known for playing amiable but slightly befuddled older gentlemen. He passed away on August 27, 1995, in London at the age of 88, after a long and respected career. His contribution to British comedy, especially during the golden age of radio, remains fondly remembered. Tony Atkin portrayed Eddie's mate in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1973, when he was 27 years old. Eddie's mate is a minor yet lively supporting character who appears alongside Eddie Booth during social scenes at the pub or the workplace. Often used for quick comic exchanges and background reactions, his character helps reinforce the everyday working-class environment of the show. Though brief, his scenes provide insight into Eddie's social circle and the prevailing attitudes of the time. Tony Atkin, with his youthful face and expressive delivery, was a familiar figure in British comedies during the 1970s and 1980s. He is perhaps best known for his roles in Monty Python's Flying Circus, The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin, and as Mr. Hudson in Grange Hill. A versatile character actor, Atkin built a steady career in film, radio, and voice work, and continued acting into the 2000s. Born on June 20, 1946, in Kent, he remains active in the acting community and is occasionally seen at classic TV conventions. He is 79 years old in 2025. Damaris Haymon portrayed Sister Rachel in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1972, when she was 43 years old. Sister Rachel is a comically prim and proper religious figure, often used for humorous contrast in scenes dealing with neighborhood moral dilemmas or chaotic misunderstandings. Damaris Haymon gave the role her signature blend of wide-eyed innocence and rigid etiquette, traits she was widely known for throughout her acting career. With a background in theater and a knack for playing spinsters, vicars' wives, and schoolmistresses, Haymon brought charm and light satire to every appearance. Outside of Love, Thy Neighbour, she was well remembered for her role as Miss Hawthorne in the Doctor Who serial The Damons, and made regular appearances in comedies and dramas from the 1960s through the 1990s. She passed away on June 3, 2021, at the age of 91 after a brief illness. Her contributions to British television were quietly significant, and she remained active in fan communities into her later years. Frank Thornton portrayed the barman in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1972, when he was 51 years old. As the barman, Thornton played the keeper of the local pub, a familiar social hub where many of the show's humorous debates and confrontations played out. His calm, deadpan presence offered a counterpoint to the chaos stirred up by patrons like Eddie and Nobby. Though his role in the series was relatively minor, Frank Thornton's impeccable timing and dignified delivery gave even small parts an unforgettable charm. Thornton went on to achieve television immortality as the pompous but lovable Captain Peacock in Are You Being Served, and later as Truly in Last of the Summer Wine. Known for portraying upper-crust Englishmen with wit and grace, he became a household name across Britain. He passed away peacefully in his sleep on March 16, 2013, at the age of 92. His death was attributed to natural causes. Thornton left behind a legacy of comedy excellence spanning over 6 decades. David Lodge portrayed Mr. Baxter in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1972, when he was 51 years old. Mr. Baxter is a straightforward, no-nonsense character who represents the older generation of British working men. Often seen at the pub or in workplace scenes, he's part of the broader ensemble that fills out the neighborhood's social world. Lodge's character helped reinforce the sense of community within the show, even if the community itself was often divided by social and racial tensions. David Lodge, with his trademark gruff voice and strong screen presence, was a regular face in British comedies and films. He appeared in numerous carry-on movies, The Avengers, and other sitcoms of the era, often portraying military types, sergeants, or working-class toughs with comic flair. His career began in the 1950s and spanned nearly 5 decades. Lodge passed away on October 18, 2003, at the age of 82. The cause of death was not widely disclosed, but his legacy endures through his many beloved performances. Bill Pertwee portrayed the policeman in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1972, when he was 46 years old. The policeman, played by Pertwee, appears in scenes of neighborhood conflict or public disturbances, often arriving just in time to restore order or add to the confusion. His stern yet slightly baffled demeanor fit well into the show's farcical tone, especially when dealing with Eddie Booth's antics. Though the role was small, Bill Pertwee's unmistakable presence and comic authority made the character memorable. Best known for playing ARP Warden Hodges in Dad's Army, Pertwee was a master of portraying officious, blustering authority figures. He also had a successful radio career and appeared in many stage shows and television comedies throughout the 1960s and 70s. He passed away on May 27, 2013 at the age of 86 from natural causes. Pertwee left behind a rich legacy in British comedy and remained beloved for his work in wartime satire and light-hearted sitcoms. Glenn Houston portrayed Reverend Llewellyn Owen in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1975, when he was 50 years old. Reverend Llewellyn Owen is a visiting Welsh clergyman whose presence brings a humorous blend of religious formality and cultural contrast to the neighborhood. Often bewildered by the locals' unfiltered behavior, he tries to bring spiritual order to comic chaos. Glenn Houston's portrayal was warm, precise, and delivered with his trademark Welsh charm. A prolific actor, Houston had a career that spanned over 6 decades, appearing in everything from Softly Softly to Doctor Who and the Sea Wolves. Known for his rich voice and dignified presence, he frequently portrayed military men, vicars, and gentlemen with hidden steel. Off-screen, he was deeply involved in Welsh cultural affairs and remained active well into his 80s. Glenn Houston passed away on June 30, 2019, at the age of 93. His death was due to natural causes. John Scott Martin portrayed the man waiting in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1972, when he was 46 years old. Although his role as the man waiting was brief and nonverbal, Martin's physical comedy and subtle expressions added a layer of visual humor to the show. Known for bringing silent roles to life, he had a long history of background character work that often went unrecognized. Most famously, Martin was the principal Dalek operator on Doctor Who, a role he performed for over 2 decades. He also appeared in numerous British comedies and dramas, lending his distinctive movements to films like Pink Floyd, The Wall, and shows like The Goodies. John Scott Martin was widely respected in the industry as a consummate professional, working consistently behind the scenes in theater, television, and film. He passed away on January 6, 2009, at the age of 82, after a brief illness. Though his face was rarely front and center, his contributions to British television were substantial. Molly Sugdan portrayed Sister Martin in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1974, when she was 52 years old. Sister Martin was a guest character brought in for a humorous storyline involving charity, moral oversight, or religious involvement in community affairs. Molly Sugdan, with her impeccable comedic instincts, played Sister Martin with the perfect mix of righteousness and absurdity. Though her appearance in the series was brief, she brought gravitas and energy that elevated even minor roles. Sugdan was already becoming a household name in British comedy and would go on to achieve iconic status as Mrs. Slocum in Are You Being Served? Known for her expressive face, colorful wigs, and sharp delivery, she remained one of Britain's most beloved comic actresses. She passed away on July 1, 2009, at the age of 86, from unspecified natural causes. Her career spanned 6 decades, leaving behind an unmatched legacy in situation comedy. Jenny Lee Wright portrayed Marilyn in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1975, when she was 28 years old. Marilyn is a bubbly, flirtatious young woman who appears in one of the later episodes of the series. Whether engaging in banter at the pub or stirring up minor drama among the neighborhood's men, Marilyn added a touch of youthful charm and energy to the show's ensemble. Jenny Lee Wright, known for her striking looks and impeccable comedic timing, brought the character to life with wit and vivacity. Outside of this role, Wright had a diverse career on British television throughout the 1970s, including appearances on The Benny Hill Show, The Two Ronnies, and Morecambe and Wise. She was not only a skilled actress, but also a trained dancer, which added to her stage presence. Later in life, she transitioned into work as a Foley artist for film, contributing to productions such as The Phantom of the Opera and The Constant Gardener. Born on February 21, 1947, she has since retired from acting and sound work. Eric Francis portrayed Specky Nuttall in Love, Thy Neighbour, 1974, when he was 62 years old. Specky Nuttall is an eccentric, slightly scatterbrained neighbor, known for his thick glasses and comically outdated opinions. He adds an extra layer of absurdity to the already chaotic suburban landscape of the show. Eric Francis's performance, marked by his expressive face and deliberate delivery, gave Specky a quirky memorability despite limited screen time. Francis was a seasoned stage and television actor who frequently appeared in character roles from the 1950s through the 1970s. Though never a leading man, he brought depth and professionalism to every performance, often playing quirky townsfolk, nervous officials, or oddball relatives. He passed away on June 7, 1991, at the age of 79. His death was due to natural causes and went largely unreported in the media, as he had retired quietly from acting in his later years. Who is your favorite character from Love, Thy Neighbor? How do you feel knowing that some cast members are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated. We appreciate your support and are glad to have you as part of our community.